Namaste dear students. I am Basavaraj Bilgi, Assistant Professor of English GFGC Erigatti. Today we will discuss a lesson called The Friend of the Slaves, which is prescribed for BA 3rd semester Basic English, Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi. Friend of the Slaves is a biography written by Dorothy King. The Friend of the Slaves lesson is all about the life history of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States of America. Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin in the state of Kentucky in 1809. He was known as Little Abe. He learnt hard work at an early age, for he had to help his father out of the doors and his mother at home. He was 9 years old when his mother died, and he and his sister had to take care of themselves until his father married again. After some 12 months, his father marries a widow with 3 children of her own, but she was a good woman and she was very fond of her stepson, Little Abe. This affection lasted throughout Lincoln's life, and she was used to say that Abe was the best son a woman ever had. Abraham Lincoln had no more than a year's schooling altogether. He did not attend the school regularly because of poverty and because he had to help his father and mother as well. He learned lessons all by himself while he has done other jobs by turns. But he had a habit of reading every book that came to him. People called him an odd fellow because he was a strange kind of person who all the time would read the books he got. He was a great speaker, a fluent speaker, and all the people around him liked listening to his clever talks and clever mimicry. When he was 19 years old, he was hired to take boatload of farm produce to New Orleans, the capital city of Louisiana, which is one of the southern slave-owning states. The second time, he stayed a month, and there he saw slavery in perhaps some of its worst aspects. And his time, which he spent in a slave-owning country state, left a deep impression upon him, for which he made a vow then that if ever he had a chance, he would hit slavery and hit it hard. When he was 19 years old, he came across to the system of slavery, and he understood the atrocities which were carried out by the white people on the black people. And at that time, when he was only 19 years old, he decides that if he will get a chance, he will certainly abolish slavery in America. He got Honest Abe, he got a nickname Honest Abe when he was working as a shopkeeper. He used to lie full length on the counter with his head pillowed on a roll of calico, eagerly devouring the contents of a book until a chance customer came in, when he would roll off the counter and attend to what was wanted. He was working in a shop when he was 20 years old, and wherein he gets a lot of time to read and understand the books that came across to him. And even at that age, he took part in many local political debates, in which even then he must have been a fluent and impressive speaker. For the keeper of the local tavern suggested that he should make politics his career. The people around him, who saw him speak so fluently about political matters, suggested him to become a politician later in his career. After some time, he was appointed postmaster of New Salem. He carried the letters in his hat and read the newspaper, and when he was delivering the letters, he borrowed law books from a lawyer and did a little land surveying also. He was 25 when he was elected member of Illinois legislature. He got appointed as the member of Illinois legislature when he was only 25 years old. 3 times during the Illinois elections, which took place every 2 years, he was returned head of the poll. He won the Illinois General Assembly elections for 3 times. At the same time, he continued his studies, and at the age of 28, he became a full-fledged lawyer, and he moved to Springfield, which was the new capital city of Illinois. And in Springfield, he took an office and started practicing law. At the end of 1842, he married, and after some 4 years, he was elected a representative in Congress for the Central District of Illinois. After 1 year, he took a seat in Washington, and a short time gained a name in Congress as the champion storyteller of the capital. In the year 1842, he marries, and he moves to Washington DC, and wherein he gets the name the champion storyteller of the capital. And after some time, he proved himself to be very witty, very clever, and very fluent speaker. He was very tall, keen-minded, eager, and startlingly clever lawyer. He became a familiar sight to his fellow townsmen, as he went daily to and fro with legal documents stuffed into his high black hat, and often with a child holding on to his coat tails. The party politics of America was full of the question of slavery, which was dominated his thoughts. Once he says, "This nation cannot exist half slave and half free." After some years, He went on growing between the northern and the southern states as a influential leader. And after some times, Union of America became stronger and stronger, and the subjects of disputes between northern and southern America were being increased day by day. The southerners refused to free the slaves because they were rich landholders and they had cotton plantation on which they need slaves. But the northern American people were against slavery and they opposed bitterly to the system of slavery. The Southerners also upheld the belief in what were called state rights. The Southern American people believed in state rights and they believed that it is important to have slaves. But the Northerns were against these people and they were trying hard to oppose or to eradicate slavery from American state. The Southerners and the Northerners forms two parties, two political parties. The Southerners called themselves as Democrats and Northerners formed themselves into a Republican Party. In America, two political parties take shape. The Southerners calls themselves as Democrats and the Northerners calls themselves as Republican. Senator Stephen A. Douglas, who was a rival of Lincoln's love, also is his rival in politics because Stephen A. Douglas becomes the leader of the Democrats. In the year 1858, Lincoln was nominated by the Republicans as candidate for the United States Senate in opposition to Douglas. But Lincoln was defeated in his first attempt to go to the Senate of America. This defeat disappoints Abraham Lincoln, but he did not give up. He made a joke about it, saying that he felt like the boy who stubbed his toe. It hurt too bad to laugh, he was too big to cry. He worked hard and he decided that he will not let the defeats his spirit. In May 1860, the Republican National Convention met in Chicago and Abraham Lincoln was nominated as a candidate for the presidency. And when Abraham Lincoln came to know that he was nominated as the candidate for the presidency, he was overwhelmingly happy and he jumped upon his feet. Lincoln stayed at Springfield until the election, amused by the attacks made upon him in the newspapers of the Democratic Party. The opposition party, the Democratic Party, started attacking Abraham Lincoln in their mouthpiece newspaper. Abraham Lincoln was called by the Democrats as a third-rate country lawyer and a maker of clumsy jokes. And they also attacked him by saying that he could not speak good grammar and he sat in his shirt sleeves and tilted his chair. By what they mean was he was not a gentleman. The election in the year 1860 was more exciting than usual because the election in 1860-61 was held on the question of slavery, which was uppermost in men's thoughts of America. Douglas supported slavery. Lincoln declared that where slavery already existed, it should be protected, but that it should not taken into free territory. The feelings of election ran high between North and South, but when election took place in November of that year, Abraham Lincoln was elected as the President of the United States for the term 1861 from 1861 to 1865. Then the Civil War begins because the southern states knew that if Abraham Lincoln becomes the President of America, he would abolish slavery, and they needs to close their cotton plantations. That's where they were afraid and started opposing Abraham Lincoln. During the election campaign, southern leaders threatened that they would secede from the Union should Lincoln be elected. When the Southerners did election campaign, they declared that if Abraham Lincoln becomes the President of America, they would secede from the Union of American States. In November 1860, Lincoln assumed office. One southern state after another announced its withdrawal from the Union and its intention to resist the enforcement of the central government's claims. In these 4 months, Lincoln could do little towards pacifying the two parties, and retiring president could not do much more. In the year 1861, Lincoln goes to Washington to prepare for his induction as President of the USA. In the same month, the southern states started seceding from the central government, and they formed the Confederate States of America, and they declared Jefferson Davis as the President of southern parts of America. On the 4th of March, Lincoln took office as the President of America, and when he was delivering his inaugural address, he declares that he did not intend to interfere with slavery, but he insisted that the Union must not be broken. On 14th of April, the Confederates or the southern states started their rebel against the Union, and their forces bombarded and forced the surrender of Fort Sumter in Charlestown Harbor, South Carolina. Thereby, the America entered into the Civil War on April 14th, 1861. President Lincoln called for volunteers to defend the Union because the Union government did not have that much of army, and he calls for the volunteers to serve in the war to defend the Union of States. It was a bitter and determined struggle, and Lincoln declares that people should not die, common people should not die, and we should do a war which is fair and proper, he declares. The Confederates had excellent generals and their forces fought hard and well. The southern states were very rich and they had experienced generals and it fought very hard, and northerners were beaten first time in more than one important battles. And the southern people deployed lot of army to attack on the northerners, and the northerners started losing their men in the war. But Abraham Lincoln did not discouraged, and he asks his army to keep pegging away the enemies. The next few years were very hard ones for his great and harassed head of a great country. He constantly made efforts to prevent other states from seceding from the Union, but he was not able to have control over the southern states. He took cabinet under his firm control and he declared that the Union will remain whatever may happens. The war continued, which was acknowledged as being fought as much to decide the question of slavery as to maintain the Union. The American Civil War is known both for the abolition of slavery as well to maintain the Union. The slave owning states of the South that had struck the first blow, by this time there were many people throughout America who were inclined to think that slavery should be abolished. After some 2 to 3 years, the American citizens, the think tank of the America started telling that abolition should be abolished. When southern states rebelled against the Union, they forfeited their claim to protect their rights. It was not long before the President's proclamation announced the emancipation or freedom of all slaves owned by rebels and the offer of compensation to those owners who were ready of their own free will to emancipate their slaves. Abraham Lincoln, the President of America, declares proclamation of emancipation or freedom, in which he tells that who are willingly ready to free their slaves, they will be given compensation. In 1864, the war had not come to an end. The northerners were still pouring men and money into the cause, for which they fought Lincoln with unflagging energy. He organized the armies and he appointed generals such as Grant, Sherman and Sheridan, who were very brave and who led the forces of the northern states very bravely. In the autumn of 1864, Honest Abe Lincoln, as his people affectionately called him, was re-elected for another 4-year term. It was in early 1865 that he got the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the states passed, and henceforward slavery was abolished forever. After the re-election of Abraham Lincoln as the President of America, slowly the war was about to end. Lincoln was very of peace, but he declares to Congress that the war will cease on the part of the government whenever it shall have ceased on the part of those who began it. However, he was disappointed with the war. He declares in the Congress, he declares in the Parliament of America that the war will be stopped on the part of the government only when it will be stopped by the people who started the war. Conquerors, the southerners were started losing the war because the northerns became strong and strong day by day. And Abraham Lincoln declares that the Union of America comprises of independent men and pre-thinking men. General Lee surrendered on the 9th of April, and the city of Washington at once began to celebrate peace. On the evening of 14th, President Lincoln and his wife went with a party to a gala performance at a theater. On one day, when President Abraham Lincoln and his wife went to a party to attend a party to a theater, he sat in his box with his friends. A strange man enters into the theater and he takes out a pistol and he puts it on the head of President Abraham Lincoln and fires. Then, leaping onto the stage, made his escape. By then, Lincoln was carried to a nearby hospital, but the wound he had received was fatal. He remained unconscious until he died early next morning. His murderer was John Wilkes Booth, who was half frantic, and he was enthusiastic southern person. He was caught and killed before the president was buried. The murderer of the president was captured before the burial of the president's body, and he was killed. His associates, the friends of the murderer, were also hanged or imprisoned, for there was evidence of a plot to kill other members of the government besides Lincoln. Lincoln was sincerely mourned by the whole nation. The death of the president made the Americans mourn sincerely, for he had served them better than any other person. Because the people started mourning and they called him the father of his people. As their leader, he had a most difficult part to play, more difficult than the part of any American president since George Washington. After the first president of America, no other president could play a vital role in shaping or in molding the American history, but it was Abraham Lincoln who had rendered his great service for his country. He fulfilled his dream that abolition of slavery is successful in America, and he worked very nobly, honestly and wisely, and he worked selflessly for the upliftment of the USA. There was something about him that drew men to him. He had a charisma, he had a personality which attracted people towards him. He was sheer goodness of the man. He was very generous, he was forgiving, and he did not have enmity towards no one. He had charity in his blood, and he was one of the sincere presidents America could have in its history. As one of her finest, Abraham Lincoln is one of the finest and best statesmen and benefactors America could had at any time of the history. The greatness of America is acknowledged to Abraham Lincoln because he accomplished a great deed for mankind and the all other people of the world. Thank you very much.